Hi, and welcome back to ELA with Miss Wardell. Today we are in Lesson 12. This is Chapter 8. It goes along with the hunting of the great bear and Iroquois' tale. So first, we're going to read the chapter, and then we're going to answer some questions about it. So on 12.3. So if I look at my questions first, it kind of helps me to understand. What did the messenger say when he came to the brothers' village? So here we're looking for what the messenger said. Right? Remember, you've got text evidence, so we're going to give the page number. Number 2, the bear's magic will not work on the brothers if what? So we're looking if it will not work. So that's pretty important. Again, you've got text evidence. Number 3, where did the great bear lead the brothers? We're looking where he led the brothers. Okay? Giving the page number for text evidence at the bottom. This is on page 125 as well. Okay? Turn over. The last 2 questions says, number 4, describe what happens each autumn according to this tale. So, what happens each autumn according to this tale? Okay? So, we're going to talk about that. And in case you don't know, autumn, there's another name for it, the season fall. Right? This is the season fall. So, think about when the leaves change. Okay? Number 5 says this chapter is told from whose point of view. So we're looking for whose point of view is it told. Okay? There's not a text evidence on that one. All right. So let's go ahead and read the hunting of the great bear and Iroquois tale. So you can either listen to me read it, or if you want, you can even go to the chapter where I've recorded it and listen to it there. It's whichever one you want to do. Okay? Long ago, there were 4 brothers who were all skillful hunters. One day, during the time of year when morning frost covers the earth, a messenger came to the village where they lived. "We need your help," said the messenger. "A great bear has come to live in the forest where we hunt. It also comes into our village at night." The 4 brothers did not say a word. Instead, they gathered up their spears and called to their dog. Then, with the messenger, they set off for the village. On the way to the village, they noticed that the forest was very quiet. They also noticed deep scratches on the trunks of the pine tree. See the scratches? The scratches had been made by the great bear as it reared up on its hind legs. It had done this to mark its territory. The smallest brother raised his spear to try and touch the highest scratch mark on, but he could not. I already hear a question, right? I found out that the messenger, because it mentioned it here, and what he said was on page 66. So before I forget, I'm going to go and I'm going to mark that. So the messenger on page 66, just as a reminder. Okay? Just as a reminder. All right. "Ah, it was as we feared," he said. "The great bear is Nagawahe. "This bear has magic powers," said the second brother fearfully. "Don't worry," said the tallest brother. "The bear's magic will not work on us if we find its tracks first." Will not work. Do you remember hearing that in one of our questions? Will not work. So this bear's magic will not work on us if we find its tracks first. Oh, okay. So let's see if it's an option. The bear's magic will not work on the brothers if they hide in a cave first. No, it didn't say that. So, especially because I'm on TCAP, we're going to cross the words out. They set up camp first? No, that's not what it said. They find its tracks first, or they climb the mountain first? Well, real quickly, if we find its tracks first. So I'm looking for tracks. There's nothing about mountains. So C. And we found this on the top of page 68. Page 68. Look, we've already answered almost 2 questions. Okay. Yes, that is true, said the third brother. If we find Nagawahe's tracks and begin to follow them, then it must run from us. That sounds like hard work, said the fourth brother, who was both chubby and lazy. Do we have any food? He asked. His brothers ignored him. As the brothers and the messenger entered the village, they were struck by an eerie silence. Only the village leader was there to greet them. We have come to help you, said the first brother. Do you have any food? Asked the fourth brother. Pay no attention to him, urged the eldest brother. We will find this great bear. I wish you luck, said the village leader. When we follow the great bear's tracks, they disappear. Don't worry, said the second brother. Four Eyes can track anything, anywhere. Four Eyes licked his master's hand. Four Eyes had 2 black circles on his head, one above each eye. Let's go, said the first brother. What? No food? Exclaimed the fourth brother, as he ran behind the others. The 4 brothers followed Four Eyes. Four Eyes sniffed the ground. They could all sense that Nagawahe was close by. It was important that they found its tracks before it began to follow them. The fourth brother, who by now felt very hungry, took out his pemmican pouch. He opened the pouch and reached in. Instead of food, he found nothing but worms. Nagawahe had transformed the food into worms. Meanwhile, like a monstrous ghost, Nagawahe moved through the forest, planning to creep up behind them. It is so sneaky. Suddenly, Four Eyes lifted his head and barked. We have found you, yelled the first brother. Nagawahe began to run. The brothers followed the great bear, ran and ran across the valley and the hills. As they ran, day turned into night. Higher and higher they climbed to the top of the mountain. The fourth brother grew weary. He pretended to fall and injure his ankle. You must carry me, he said. 2 of the brothers lifted him up, while the other one carried his spear. The great bear began to tire, and so did the brothers. Eventually, Four Eyes got close enough to the bear to nip his tail. You can put me down, said the fourth brother, who was nicely rested. Well, good for him, right? The brothers put him down. Immediately, he sprinted off in front of the brothers. Minutes later, the fourth brother was close enough to the bear to kill it with his spear. When the 3 brothers caught up with him, he had already built a fire and was cutting up the meat. Sit down. I hope you are hungry, as I am, said the fourth brother, smiling. Together the brothers cooked and ate the meat of the great bear. Brothers, said the first brother, staring down at his feet, we are not on a mountain. We are high up in the sky. He was right. The great magical bear had led them up into the heavens. That was a question. Now, where did they lead him? To the heavens. So if you look back on page 125, It says, where did the great bear lead the brothers? Down to the earth? No. Up into the heavens? Yes. They didn't mention a thing about a lake or treetop, but in fact, on page 74, here it said that the magical bear had led them up into the heavens. So here we're going to circle B and write our text evidence found on page 74. This is the last page of this chapter. Suddenly, Four Eyes began to bark. Look, said the second brother. The four brothers stared at what was left of Nagawahe's body. The great bear was coming back to life. As they watched, it began to run away. Four Eyes took off after it. Let's go, said the fourth brother. The brothers reached for their spears and ran after the great bear. They chased it across the sky. And so it remains. Each autumn, the brothers chase the bear across the sky. And when they catch it, they kill it. As they cut up the meat, blood drips down to the earth, and the colors of the leaves of maple trees red. As they cook, the bear fat drips down and makes the grass pale and lifeless. And so you can see here the different changing of the colors. So this might have been some sort of a tale that they tell of why the leaves change. So this was before we found out about the different types of science with our leaves and why they change colors. But here it says, every autumn the brothers chase the bear across the sky. What a great story! Let's look back at our questions. It says, which ones have we not answered? Number 1, what did the messenger say when he came to the brothers' village? We've answered 2 and 3. Number 4 says, describe what happens each autumn according to this tale. Well, since this is the closest thing on my mind, because we just finished it, let's look back. What does it say is happening each autumn according to this tale? Well, we found this on page 76. Yep, page 76. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to note that, and then in our meet, we're going to finish answering number 1, 4, and 5 together. Okay? I want your help. Thanks, guys, and see you later.